Hi guys, the current discussion that we've been on in the last few videos, I say last few, the last load of videos, has all been leading up to this spreadsheet that was heavily debated till like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're not going to tell you the entire spreadsheet because
we'd be here all week.
You ain't got the time, you don't want to know. So essentially what we did is we got every party member from Mass Effect and Dragon Age, gave them a rating. We also did it for the romance options.
Yep.
And we broke down the games individually. And we gave them ratings on aspects like story, setting, the character that you play as, all that kind of
stuff
thing.
Like that.
So we'll start off with Mass Effect.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is, to save yours and our time, we're not going to go through every single companion. We're just going to go through our 5 best and 5 least favourites.
And this was worked out mathematically.
Yeah. So what we did, we each gave them a score of how much we loved them. And then...
Or hated them.
Or hated them. And then I just took an average of the 2 scores. Quick maths.
Because words alone could not settle this.
No. We figured
agree.
that if we debated it, it'd get too
forever.
heated, and we'd still be debating it to this day.
Yeah.
So we decided to go with cold hard numbers.
Numbers do not lie.
Okay, so for Mass Effect, our top companion was Garrus, who
obviously
is perfect.
The best boy. Like every time we mentioned him in the previous videos, we're like, Garrus is just the best. Garrus is the best part of Mass Effect. There's no question he was the top.
He's the perfect bro. For Shepard.
100%.
There's just...
There's no Shepard without Vicarian.
Yeah, he could walk up to me and, shoot someone who I loved in the face. And I'd be like, it's okay.
Garrus has never done anything wrong in his life, ever. So, standard. The second one down, Chris was quite shocked about this. Chris was like, how did he get the second place? But he's also a bro.
Yeah. I mean, you get matching tattoos.
James Vega. You didn't actually say his name. I was setting you up to say his name and you just sort of carried on, but it's okay. we can fix this. So James Vega comes into it in
He's only in Mass Effect 3. But I really liked his character.
Me too.
Aesthetically.
See, I liked him as a character as well.
But also, yeah, as a character, he's pretty cool. He's got that banter.
Yeah.
Even though he's only there for that game, it doesn't feel forced.
He should have been in. There in number 3, but always there in my heart. He was a really good character. He came in the last minute and managed to be better than most of the cast of the previous games.
Yeah.
Easily. More personality, better interaction with Shepard.
Yeah.
Definitely deserves to be high up on the list. I'm quite shocked he's that high.
Yeah.
But thinking about it,
we're both fangirls, so it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can you do, Bae?
So third on our list is Rex again, total bro.
Mm-hmm.
I just love Rex.
Yeah.
Don't have words. He's
a great character from the start.
He's the angry reptilian uncle that I wish I had. He's
a good character, and he progresses through the games. Although he's not a party member in all of the games, you still get to see his story, and he's got a really good.
He's got a really interesting story. He's got one of the best character growths, I think, because he starts out as this loner mercenary who's nearly pushing 1,000 years old. He's had enough of life, really. And he ends up ruling his entire people and bringing them back from this genocide, which is really. It's a great character arc.
Yeah. He, without doubt, has got one of the best stories. Because, Garrus is, my favourite character, but Garrus is very much tied into what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whereas Rex has got his own story. He doesn't rely solely on Shepard to build him through his arc, which is pretty cool.
Okay, so fourth on our list is Legion.
I'm
Legion
really
is only so high because I rate him a 10 because I love Legion. You rate him a 7 because you don't really like robots that much.
No, he was okay and he was cute, and I am sorry for our loss, but I don't have as stronger feelings for Legion as you clearly do. So
I'm quite an emotionless husk when I play games, and when he asked if he had a soul, I literally cried. It was beautiful.
I shed a tear, but I was like, no. Because robots don't have souls, so...
He's not a robot, though, so...
What is he, then? Is he organic in any way?
He's beautiful. In every single way.
He doesn't have a soul, and now he's dead.
So is Tally if you push her off the cliff.
Yeah. That didn't happen to me, because I had a good playthrough, so...
No, to be fair, I had a good playthrough.
This is a surprise. Like, this surprised me as well.
We've got
Not in
very
a bad
odd
way.
Mass Effect opinions,
we do.
So the fifth favourite was Javik, who is a DLC character, is Prothean, the last of the Protheans.
But he's amazing.
And he's amazing. Everything he says is just brilliant. His interactions with all the... Because when he was... Well, I don't want to say when he was alive, because he's not dead.
He's been cryogenically frozen, essentially, and his whole deal, his whole species is just there to stop the Reapers. Like, we talked about this in previous videos. So he's been around since the dawn of, like, all the other species. You saw them evolve. So he's got all the gossip on people, he knows all the things, and he offers a lot of lore into certain species.
My favourite thing is when you take him to the Solarian planet and he's just slacking them off, and he's like, did you know they used to eat their eyes?
They used to lick their eyes.
Yeah. They used to eat flies.
That is a very, like, unusual... We have that as an unusual top 5. It started off, like, pretty solid.
We've got, like, Jarl, Liara and Tally, like, just after them. I think they'd probably be in most people's top 5s. Especially those two.
Who's Jarl?
Jarl's the Angaran resistance fighter from Andromeda. The one who kind of looks a bit like a penis.
Is that the big one?
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to romance him. I'm like, I'm broke, that's why I don't know who.
His head looks like a circumcised penis.
The more you know, people.
Alright, let's scroll down to the bottom.
Controversial.
Okay, so...
No, actually, not controversial.
I feel like these are easily the bottom characters. Like, this is not a controversial opinion at all.
That's my opinion!
So, fifth from the bottom, we put Edie. She kind of creeps me out a lot.
I don't like Edie.
She seemed... I don't know, I just didn't like her.
No.
She was like banging Joker, and I'm not really comfortable
It was really
with
weird,
that,
wasn't it?
Because he has brittle bone disease and she's made out of metal. She keeps joking about, like, wiping out humanity, and I don't trust AI as it is.
No, I didn't like it. I didn't like how they forced her to be in your ship and she just watches everything that you do, and then she's like, you give her this, like, sex bot body. I'm not feeling that. No. I'm not feeling it. I don't...
No. Fourth from the bottom is Jacob.
The prize.
Because that's literally the only good thing Jacob has done.
He wasn't, like, a bad character. He just had a boring story. Like, he wasn't really anything special. He was more boring than Caden, if that was even possible.
It was just there. Like, would the game have been the same without him? Yeah.
We Mass Effect 2 is not our favourite game anyway, so
no.
It's pretty typical that they would be there.
Third on the list is Cora. Spiritually, she's an Asari commando, but in reality, she's a human.
She's just really mean from the start. Like,
she hates you for, like, no reason.
She hates you because
you're your dad's actual child, and she's not.
She hates you because when your dad passes away, he makes you the Pathfinder instead of her. That's her whole jam. Yeah. That's all she cares about.
And
like,
the fact that she used to be an Asari commando.
And she's not anymore.
But she used to be an Asari commando.
Did you know that?
I wish I was an Asari commando. So second from the bottom is Morinth. Mainly because I just think, why was she even...
Why was she even offered the chance to become a party member?
You can choose to kill Samara and take her daughter Morinth with you. And...
She just wears her clothes.
She wears Samara's clothes, which is kind of weird. She has basically the same dialogue options as Samara. Except you can bang her, and because she's like a crazy vampire thing, she kills you if you bang her, and it's game over. So like,
I don't get why that was put in the, like, not the vampire stuff, but like, I don't get why that was a mechanic offered in the game. It just seems really weird. It's a really weird thing to offer. I don't understand.
I get the, like, choose between two characters,
but not the same character.
But then don't make them the same. Yeah,
it's just a weird thing. I don't know.
It's kind of a bit pointless.
And then the most disliked character on the list.
Fucking PB from Andromeda.
I only played like 40-something hours of it, and
when she like knocks you down to the ground when you first meet her, I'd have pulled that trigger so hard.
She's just really annoying.
That's literally it. She just vexes both of us. That's the only reason we hate her.
Like, Andromeda was on a losing streak, like, not being original Mass Effect, like, in everybody's minds anyway. Like, that's not, like, I'm not saying that's a criticism, like, but it's not a criticism, like, it's not a valid criticism, but to me, like, you sit down to play it and you're just like, these people aren't Shepard's crew, so they'll never live up to it in your mind anyway, before you even start the game. So to have all these annoying as shit characters, it was just not, it did not help.
Like, to be fair to the Andromeda crew, Liam was a good boy.
I liked Liam.
Vetra she was not Garrus, but she was okay.
Yeah.
She didn't actively vex me.
No.
Drac is the grandpa that I wish I could like be
Drac.
one day. And who else was it? Jarl, he was cool because he was new. And then Cora, no. PB, no. So, do you want to move on to the Mass Effect? That was Mass Effect.
No, like the Mass Effect romances, or do you want to go on to Dragon Age and save the romances last?
We could do the romances.
Okay.
So, to work out our top 5 romances, we literally just rated our top 3 and then picked ones.
We chose the 3 that we romanced the first time we ever played the game. Yeah. And give them a score, like we put best, obviously like best to last. And then Jake did some math.
I can't remember what I did because it was like before
August. It was a long time ago, but that we know how we got to that process. Yeah. So, Mass Effect, obviously. Best boy was always going to be Garrus.
Yeah, for sure.
Best romance, obviously going to be Garrus. There was no doubt, because we love him too much. We just, all these videos were just, like, so fangirl for Garrus. It was never going to be anyone else.
The next one on our list was Liara. I thought, as a character, Liara I didn't like her in Mass Effect 1. And then she became a bit of a bad bitch, and I did like her. But her romance arc was really nice. I think consistently she's the one who's, apart from Garrus, has been there for Shepard.
Yeah.
And she deliberately goes out of her way to help him. And the romance arc with her is just really sweet.
I would not know, because this is his top romance.
Yeah.
This is the thing, like, so she's not second, she's Jake's top.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Lol.
Okay, so do you want to take it away with...
My second one, it is Jalal, and I didn't even finish his romance at all, but literally the reason he's second, I'm going to tell you right now, is because the other person that I romance is Caden, and he does not deserve to be second place. So he's my bottom, and so Jalal's my middle. But I like Jalal.
And one of my playthroughs is my bottom too.
Yeah, well, so when he comes back in the third one, and he's like,
"By the way,
I'm bisexual now." Like, good for you, man. You must have gone on a journey.
Shepard
number
turned
2.
him.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I didn't finish. I do want to go back and finish Andromeda. But I just couldn't bring myself to replay like over 48 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Just as it's broken. So I just couldn't do it.
Bottom one to the list again because I accidentally erased them. Right, so my next one was Miranda. I'm not putting her second because she has a fantastic ass, which she did.
She does.
And it was the feature of every shot that she was in. But I just liked her arc. She went from this like cold, uncaring mega bitch, which I can really vibe with. And then she went to a cold, slightly caring, less of a bitch, which again I can kind of vibe with. So, and
then our basic like last place is just Cade and Ashley.
Yeah,
like, it's just the
we
one,
had to bang them in one.
The one that you start with, any it's like literally, it's like it's just we all made that mistake. Don't criticise.
I would actually, if you hadn't already picked Caden, I would have picked Caden for my bottom one over Ashley because I just don't like Ashley that much.
It's okay though, because after like the first one, you just forget the first one, because then the second one is when you go on to your one true Bae.
Yeah.
So when you did
That's true.
You decided to like hustle around. I just went straight. I went straight for the one. You decided to hustle it around before you got to Liara. See, I didn't even have like my Mass Effect 2 and 3 one is both Garrus, and you're there like I have this one, and then I have this one, and I have this one, like you're on a cheese board.
It's because Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. As I said in our previous video, only caters for straights and lesbians.
Oh my god. When I was editing these videos, and then you just go, in Mass Effect 1, there's only straight to lesbians
There were
in
no
space.
gays in space.
Oh man.
So, you know, I was underrepresented, so I had to just become a total slag.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, if we move on to the Mass Effect games
I'd shout
individually.
out Gil on the romances because he was cute, but it was a bit. There was not a lot there.
Oh my god. So, if we reveal the order in which the Mass Effects were rated,
Yeah.
and then we'll do when we've talked through Dragon Age, we'll then do the overall.
Should we start from the bottom?
Yes.
Start from the bottom now. We're here. And at the bottom is Mass Effect 2.
Now, like we said before, these were rated on the story, the gameplay, the characters that we played as, the party. Like, it's not just us sitting there going, like, this is the worst one. Like, again, we gave them all the individual scores, each aspect.
And then averaged it out.
Yeah. So, to us, Mass Effect 2 is the worst.
Yeah. The story, the suicide mission at the end was great.
Yeah.
It was the perfect example of what a Mass Effect mission should be. But the rest of it was just a bit, we're going to do a suicide mission.
It was the gameplay aspect for us, really, that we didn't like how they pushed the gameplay forward and stripped back the RPG. That was essentially our
It was too much of a shooter game.
And we didn't like the companions in that one, really.
They were okay. It wasn't the worst game for companions in the series.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the best.
Speaking
The romance
of
options
the one,
were a bit...
Speaking of the one that had the worst companions, but somehow yet managed to get higher than Mass Effect 2.
It's Andromeda. Andromeda's story is actually really fucking interesting.
It is.
I love the story of Andromeda. It was just executed in a bad way.
The protagonist, we both rated really highly.
I
as
loved
well.
Ryder.
I as much as I love playing as Shepard, and I do love Shepard, it's one of the best characters I think I've ever played as in a video game. Ryder is so hilarious.
Ryder is the Hawk of the Mass Effect franchise.
And it, like, there's some stuff that Ryder says and you just like there like laughing because you know like Shepard would never say that.
Yeah.
It gives you a new freedom to it.
Yeah.
Whereas we felt the party was lacking. And I think party goes hand in hand with romance. So like the party was lacking, so the romance was lacking.
Yeah.
It kind of like if you don't have the interesting party members, the romances are kind of just the best of the bad bunch.
The setting, on the other hand, I really liked the setting of Andromeda. I liked these new worlds. They all felt really alien. And I liked that the environments would change after you did all the quests. I thought that was a really cool thing to implement. So it definitely did some things right.
I don't think it deserved the hatred that it got. So then, second, I lost how many. I lost on how many. I was like, there's one more Mass Effect and there is Dragon Age. Or did we class? We didn't class it. Did we class Awakening within Origins?
Yeah,
we must have done, mustn't we? Yeah.
So, second highest Mass Effect game is the original, the OG Mass Effect. Story and gameplay wise, it was good. Gameplay wise, it was great for the time, but now when I try and play it again, I find it so dated.
It's awful. Yeah. Do you know what? It's not even awful. It's just too much. Like we talked about this in previous videos. Like trying to go back to it, it's just too much faffing.
Because the gameplay is so different from Andromeda and 3 and 2. It's a drain to play.
Yeah. However,
the characters in it were fantastic.
The characters are what make it.
Yeah.
And obviously, like coming into Shepard.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Romance, I think, was a bit weak in Mass Effect 1.
Definitely.
I mean, you literally had the choice of Ashley or Kaidan, depending on your gender, and then also Liara.
Yeah.
And none of them were great in Mass Effect 1.
No. So then, which obviously means
Mass Effect 3.
Which
I know it had a lot of controversy for the ending, but without that ending, I'd have scored it a 10 out of 10 for story.
I think it's the best of everything.
Yeah.
Apart from the ending, the story's the most epic. The characters are the best set of companions, in my opinion, in the last game. It's where Shepard becomes like. That's where Shepard this is it. This is Shepard's time to shine. Like the shit's hit the fan. The Reapers are here, and Shepard becomes stone cold badass.
If it wasn't for all of the bugs, I'd say Andromeda would be better in gameplay. But because Andromeda was so bugged, 3 is definitely the best for gameplay.
like straight, like we talked about this again before, but it just straight off the bat, it's like, how much story do you want? How much combat do you want? And let you tailor it to you perfectly, and that's just the best thing. Like that was the best thing they could have done. So despite the controversy of the ending, and obviously we got the patch with the extended endings. Yeah, it is my favourite one. Yeah, it's just the end of the journey, and that's what makes it so epic. Because you actually get to see, like, that's something we never got in Dragon Age. Like, we are yet in Dragon Age to see what our hard work is building up to. Yeah. And in Mass Effect, that you do. You see what happens. You see what happens to everyone, including Shepard. And that's going to make it special. Right, so...
Let's go to Dragon Age.
Like, Mass Effect, we have, like, very, very similar opinions. And then when it gets to Dragon Age, we're just there, like, who are you giving a bad rating to?
Okay, for Dragon Age, we've got a bit of a conundrum. Because our top-rated character is the dog.
The dog. From Dragon Age 1.
But I feel like that's because he's a dog and you have to give a dog 10 out of 10.
So if we give if the dog gets
so the dog can be like a special
award, he's the best award. He's the best boy in our hearts. But if we're going on
but then if we do that leaves us with a joint 5th place between 3 people. We can do that, right?
Yeah. Is our spreadsheet even do what we want?
True.
We're running the video, we can do whatever we want.
We're strong, independent Dragon Age fans. So our top rated, also with a 10, 100% approval rating, was Varric.
Varric's the best
I need to explain that because he's just perfect.
Varric is the Garrus of Dragon Age. Straight up.
I think if I had to choose between Varric and Garrus, I'd choose Varric.
Oh, no. See, now I would choose Garrus.
It's a really narrow margin, but I don't know. I think me and Varric could get on that a little bit better.
I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear you say that.
So, yeah, he's great with Hawke. He's Hawke's, like, best friend for life.
But Garrus is your best friend for life, and you can bang Garrus.
That's true. But I wouldn't want to bang Varric because I got too much respect for him. No,
Forget my slut shepherd then, yeah. You slut shaming my shepherd, is that what you're trying to say? This video is over. He's so rude.
I like the way that Hawke interacts with Varric, and I love the way that Varric then interacts with the Inquisitor in a completely different way. He's really well written in that respect. I like his interactions with all the other characters. I think that's the thing with Dragon Age compared to Mass Effect.
The characters in Mass Effect don't speak to each other. Like, they literally don't speak to each other. Nobody tells anyone anything. Yeah. And in Dragon Age, you can't even sneeze without your party snaking on you to everybody else.
So I like the way Varric interacts with all the other people. I like his little nicknames for people.
Yeah.
It just, everything he does makes me smile. Next on the list is the other best boy.
Oh my god. I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought we were talking about the next one down. Alistair, oh my god. I love Alistair so much. He's a good character. Mm-hmm. He's a good romance. He was a bro, and then it turned into a romance, which I liked.
Yeah.
I like that, because at the start, you just like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die with this guy. This guy's my only hope.
The reason that Alistair didn't get 100% was because I gave him a 9 out of 10, and you gave him a 10 out of 10. And I gave him a 9 out of 10 because I'm really bitter that he wasn't a gay relationship.
What I'm bitter about is that he left me to go and get an army and then never came back. But I'm hoping that'll get resolved.
Maybe he did come back, but the warden's that much of a bad bitch. She'd already
That's
finished
exactly what you said last time. Yeah. When I edited it, you're like, you're just too good. You got it done quick. And I'm like, yeah, I did. But where is he? Why did I not get like no messenger being like, your husband said,
you okay?
Are you okay? Yeah. He's just like, nah. That's the thing about him, like, you start the game and like we said before, like, he's the only like source of info that you've got, and he's a bit dim, and you're there like, I'm not going to make it through this game. And then as like the missions go on, you become like more friendly with him, and then at the end of the game you're just like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. He liked it, and he put a ring on it. Not for you, obviously, but you know, can't all be the Queen of Ferelden. That's what it is. He was the OG romance as well, and I think that's like, that's something special, because you're like, he gives you the rose and you're there like, oh.
Next on our list was one of best bros from Inquisition, Cassandra.
I absolutely adore Cassandra.
Cassandra is a fucking bad bitch.
I started playing it again recently because when I was editing this video...
She's everything that I aspire to be.
It made me want to play it. And I'm just like, I love her. She's such... Like, she comes on the screen and you're like, Cassandra's
My favourite thing is when someone says something, she goes, ugh.
She's just a bad bitch. Like, we said before, like, when she was announced as a party member, we were like, why?
Yeah.
Why? And she was just a bitch. She's a beast. She's a bro. She's so funny. She's got one of the best, like... She's one of the best characters in Dragon Age. Definitely. One of the most well-written characters. That's not, like, obviously... you're always going to rank your romances higher.
Yeah.
But, like, just as a platonic, friendly character, she's one of my favourite characters.
I absolutely love the end credits of the Trespasser DLC when she's reading Barry's book.
Reading that book.
That is one of, like, the highlights of the whole series for me.
She's amazing.
It was perfect.
She's such a contradiction, isn't she? Because she acts all like big and bad, but then actually she's like, quite sweet.
They're reading like a smutty romance novel, so like I hope no one sees me.
She reads like Barrick's fan fiction and she absolutely adores it. She's amazing. She's definitely one of the best characters in Dragon Age.
I hope she comes back in 4.
Me too. You need her. She's one of the only people that can get shit done.
True.
You need her. You can't go on without Cassandra.
Okay, so next on our list is Cullen.
The best boy. I'm like I said, we did this in the summer, and now I'm looking at this list and I'm like, why did I rate Alistair higher than Cullen? Because I think Cullen's got the better romance, but obviously like there was all the Templar stuff and the mage hate, so maybe that's why I rated him down a bit. Maybe I can't remember.
I think the journey that his character's gone on has been a really good one. He's gone from like being like really messed up PTSD to actually kind of like a really well-rounded individual.
Like I
know, apart from the fact where he left the army in the forest, a good commander.
That's why. Why he didn't get 10. That was why, because his character didn't serve his purpose. That was why. I think even from the start of Inquisition, I totally forgot what the name was called. Like you talk to him about, like you can ask him about all the stuff that he's done. And he's like, I've just made this before in the past, like unjustly, and he's like, I'm not going to do that here. Yeah. You're like, oh, Cullen's a bro now. He's calmed down a bit. But I never play as a mage. Yeah. So I don't know if that's different if you're a mage.
If you import a save where your warden was a mage and female, you can like really embarrass him when you're romancing him. You're like, was there anyone else in your life? And he's like, no.
See, I'm glad that didn't happen to me because I would have just got jealous. Like,
that bitch.
Yeah, literally. I can't. I would have been like, how dare you? How actually dare you?
So for 5th place, we've got a tie between 3 people.
This is unusual.
We've got Dorian.
MVP.
I really like Dorian. He's a sassy gay friend without being a stereotype about it. He's a really well-written gay character, which in video games is quite rare. And he's got a great butt.
He does have a great butt. I haven't seen it because I didn't romance it, but I've seen it.
You have seen it because I set it as Chris's wallpaper on his PlayStation.
Yeah, and it took him so long to notice.
Like a good few months.
No, it must be like half a year.
Yeah, that's true.
But I've seen it when you I know you sent me that picture over Messenger,
like,
so I've seen it. Yeah. He's a good character. Like again, didn't romance him obviously, but as a friend character, he's that like gossipy friend. He's that friend that's like, do you want to spill the tea? And you're like, yeah,
yes, I do. I liked his quest with his dad. The only thing that kind of peeved me a little bit was when he very dramatically announced that he was gay to the Inquisitor. And I'm like,
who told you?
What? No, really? I feel like that didn't need to be a scene, but okay.
It's done for the lols, though, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
It's a like a light-hearted joke.
Yeah, but
maybe not well received.
The next character in the tie is Fenris.
I don't know how he got so high up the list because my goddamn, he is fit, but he's a dick.
He is a bit of a dick.
He's a good character.
I think he's
got a good story. He's hot, but he's a dick. I
liked him because the whole lyrium tattoos thing.
It's cool.
It was a really cool, like, piece of lore.
Yeah.
I'd not seen a game do anything like that before.
Not even in any of the other Dragon Age. Like, not even in Inquisition was it anything like that.
So I think he was a really interesting character. I liked his story with, like, obviously he's got a lot of PTSD and a lot of feelings about slavery, and I liked how they dealt with that in terms of writing. I liked just his whole storyline was good.
I like the rivalmance. I think him and Hawk, they're just prime for that rivalmance. It's the, like, I've rivalmanced him and I've romanced him, but I prefer the rivalmance. It was more spicy. It fit better with their characters. I loved it.
And then the last character in the tie is Win.
I'm shocked at that.
I'm not, because she's the MVP of Origins.
I do like Win, but I think
our party
people...
would have, not even because she's the healer, like, our party as people would have died without Win.
I'm quite shocked. I would have thought, I don't know, I feel like this... I don't know how he come to that conclusion, to be honest. Maybe I was feeling generous at the time.
Because she's such a good character. Like, she's got a really interesting story. Sweet. She's essentially a walking corpse.
Yeah.
And she's just there like, well, you know, I kind of died, but
I can still help.
I can still help. I'll cook your dinner for you. I'll iron your socks. It's all good.
So if we go down to the
a
worst characters in Dragon Age, now there's got to be some, like...
Right, so straight up, we'll start 5th from the bottom. We'd put Brogan Dace. You probably don't know who that is, unless you played the Golems of Amgarak. Is that right? Amgarak DLC.
Some DLC.
So basically, you go to the Deep Roads to find this lost Taig, and you're there with this dwarf who's trying to find his brother. Brogan's the brother, and he's just a bit of a wet weekend. Like, he's not got a personality.
No.
I know he's only there for one DLC mission, but there's just nothing to him.
No.
He's a bit of a write-off.
We're very harsh in our
The 4th from the bottom was Carver from Dragon Age 2. He's just a dick.
Now, I feel like you rated him and I rated Bethany. That's how we did it. Yeah. Because I never had Carver. So this must be your rating.
This is just pure hatred from me. Like, he's just ungrateful. He's rude. He's spiteful. I don't like him.
Sorted.
It gets better as you, like, send him off to the Grey Wardens. You're like, I've had enough of you. Like,
love it.
Ciao. But I don't like whiny people.
There's a lot of whiny
in real
people
life,
in Dragon Age.
And he's the whiniest, I think.
You don't need that.
I don't need that negativity around me. Next in the list is Blackwall, or should I call him by his real name? Tom something.
Tom Liar. Tom Liarson.
Liar pants. What a fucking snake.
He's a liar, but they didn't even try and disguise it, like, well. Like, from the
Can you tell me about the Grey Wardens? No.
It's like, oh, you do this, and you're there like, you don't know, so this, I feel like this is a lie. I think they could have disguised it a bit better. They shouldn't have made it so obvious off the bat that he was a snake. Yeah,
I like... He's got a redeeming quality in the fact that he's trying to be a better person, but he did kind of murder a family and a load of children, so... This
is why he's at the bottom of the list. Do you know what? He's actually not... Like, there's still 2 people underneath.
Oh, God, yeah. So after Blackwall, we put Loghain.
He's the worst person.
I could never choose Loghain over Alistair.
Unlike some people that we know, Christopher.
Nothing. It goes against every fibre of my body to do that.
I don't know how you would do that. I don't know why you would do that. He's a straight up snake.
Yeah.
From the get-go. For no good reason.
He betrays his best friend's family. Like, murders his best friend's son, pretty much. Tries to have the other one killed. Just, nah.
He's a pure snake. He's Blackwall's a snake, but Loghain is, like, the ultimate snake.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not feeling that.
And then the last character on the list, the worst character, in our opinion, of the Dragon Age companions, is Talis from the Mark of the Assassin DLC.
We talked about this in previous videos. We just felt like she was... Like, it wasn't... What our problem was is... It was a gimmick. She was shoehorned in there just so it was her.
Yeah.
And it didn't really fit. It didn't really fit, and nothing ever came of the character. It was just really weird.
Like, she had this whole web series, Felicia Day did, where she played Talis, and at the end of it, she's like, okay, I'm giving up the coon. And I'm like, fair. Like, and then Mark of the Assassin is set before this web series. So at the end of Mark of the Assassin, she's like, I'm thinking about giving up the coon. at the end of the web series, she's like, okay, I'm definitely giving up the Coon. And then you play the Trespasser DLC and you get like a note. You find a note to this Kunari, and it's from Talis, and it's like, I think it's been confirmed to be the same one, and she's still there. Just
what is the truth? It was just that whole DLC was just it was a gimmick. I understand why they did it.
Yeah, I liked the story that it was setting up, that the Kunari are trying to like encroach on the other nations, but they could have done it without Talis.
A little bit better.
Or at least written Talis a lot better than they did.
Yeah, I think they wrote her a basic story because they relied on the fact that people would just like her because she was Felicia Day.
Yeah.
But that's not really enough because she felt too out of it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's like that episode of Game of Thrones with Ed Sheeran in it.
That's exactly what you said last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like, you're just there. Just there.
Yeah. You're like, oh, Ed Sheeran. Yeah.
Very weird, very weird.
So, yeah, she's our least favourite. Why, bitch?
So, the Dragon Age romances.
Okay, so these are your three.
I know. Why did you have to highlight them? Like, I didn't know who I romanced.
I just
in case I forgot.
To do something.
So, obviously, this is where Cullen gets his justice because Cullen's got the best romance. Like, I just... Don't ask me why it's better than Alistair. I don't know. I just feel it in my soul. I just feel that it's a better romance. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they made me wait like 3 games to finally like get out. But I feel like it's a better romance. I feel like it's a more... I don't know. Like, Alistair's was pretty perfect. It's just something about Cullen's romance. It's just cute. He's so cute and awkward. And my Inquisitor, she's got time for that. She has got all the time for that. It's fun.
So, my top romance was Morrigan.
What a little snake.
There's a reason that Morrigan didn't appear in our top 5, and it's because she absolutely hates it.
I gave her like a 0, and he gave her like a 10, and I was like, no.
So, I really like Morrigan. She does start out as a bitch.
She is a bit.
But then she becomes your friend. Even if you don't romance her, she becomes your friend.
I don't want it. I don't need it.
What about when she tells you that you're the only friend she's ever had?
I don't care. I hate Morrigan because in my playthrough she had to have a baby with Alistair, and that's literally where all my hatred for Morrigan comes from. That's honestly why I hate her so much. And I can never forgive her. I know that's like so pathetic, but that's literally why I hate her. I can't deal with it.
See, for me, in my playthrough, the baby thing happened, but it was with my warden. So it's like, she comes into your room, she's like, you're gonna die if you fight the Archdemon. You're like, yeah, I know. And she's like, but are you though?
Then I was gonna say Face the Black, but it doesn't even want it. It's that really bad rendered, whatever that is.
Bump and grind. So she basically has this baby as part of a ritual, but if you're romancing her, there's like a romance element into it as well. She's
Good
like,
for you.
I would actually like to have a baby. Like, I'm not doing this just for convenience.
No.
Like, I would actually like to have you. I was like, okay.
That's nice.
And then when you meet up with her in Inquisition as the Inquisitor, you do the Witch Hunt DLC and you can choose to go into the mirror with her if you romanced her. And you stay there for a few years. And then when you meet up with her in Inquisition, she fills you in on what's happened with the Warden, how he's gone off to find a cure for himself so they can be together as a family. The kid's really cute. It's just a cute romance.
Good for you.
Respect my son.
I respect your son, but I don't respect your baby mama. I'm sorry.
And just out of the game as well, I think it's really cute how they got the actress's actual son to voice her son.
Did they?
I think that's really
cute. That's cute. Oh. That is pretty cute.
I think if you didn't absolutely despise Morrigan, she'd have been on the top 5 list for sure.
Yeah, probably. We were like doing it over Messenger, and I was like 0 for Morrigan. We were all like Messenger chat, and you were like 10 for Morrigan. What did you give Morrigan? I was like 0. Perish.
You won't be saying that when she comes to save her asses in Dragon Age 4.
I'd rather die. I'd honestly rather die.
This is the hill that you're going to die on.
It's the hill I'm going to die on. So, second, Alistair.
Yep.
Again, it was perfect. It was amazing, but there was just, I don't know. I just couldn't. I couldn't put it above the Cullen. I don't even know why. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
I'm just, maybe it's because Cullen just looks good. Looks better because of the next gen. I don't know.
They kind of made Alistair ugly in the new engine.
No, just, I don't know. He was a good character, and the romance was pretty cute. But I feel like it's one of those typical, like, it's a Disney kind of romance, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a wholesome romance. Like Cullen's
the
romance.
Forbidden Prince has fell in love with the dashing warrior woman who comes to save him. Like, oh.
But in Inquisition, it's like, Josephine's like, you should marry someone who's going to get, like, you know, bring some stuff into the Inquisition. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm banging the head on my arm. It's like, it's just wild. It's so wild. Like, Inquisition, when you stop and think about it, it's
a wild ride.
Yeah.
My second top romance was Dorian.
For the butt. It was the butt, wasn't it?
It was kind of for the butt. Kind of for the fact that he's one of my favourite characters. And when I got to Trespasser, you find out that he's being sent. His dad's been murdered, and there's like a really nice scene where you're like comforting him over that. You find out that he's moving to Tevinter, and he basically gives you this like magic crystal that functions like Skype.
Oh.
And he's like, I don't want to be apart from you, but I have to go and sort out my homeland. So this is how we're going to stay in contact. And I'm like,
that's cute.
That's really adorable.
Why don't you just go with him?
I don't know.
I suppose you're still the Inquisitor, aren't you, really? I suppose you can't just, like, up and leave. Well, were you going to arm? Oh, you're on the egg hunt. You're on the egg hunt. That's what it is, yeah.
I feel like all the Dragon Age romances are really cute.
Yeah, they're all good. This is like, the Mass Effect one was so easy. It was like, this is awful, but we still did it. We got to live with our choices. This is the best one. And then the Dragon Age one, you get to the Dragon Age one, and you're like, but I like so many people.
Yeah.
My third on my list is the Fenris romance, because it wasn't wholesome like my other. Well,
Lady Gaga, bad romance.
Yeah, it was like, why am I doing this to myself? Like he was a good character. Like I say, the royal romance was so good, but he caused me the most problems. He turned on me in the end, and I had to put him down.
Yeah,
but I still did it. Like, YOLO. You gotta live with those choices.
My bottom choice for my third favourite romance was Isabella.
There you go. See, it's just two. Two does not spawn good romances.
She was good. She was. I liked how it went from her being really selfish to her. And like at one point, she actually leaves your party. She's like, "Yeah, bye, I'm out." And then if you've got high enough approval with her, or if you romance her, she does come back, and she's like, so I've grown feelings. I hate you because you've done this to me, but I'll stick around. And it's a really nice character growth.
See, I don't like Isabella for the same reason as Morgan. Like
banging tits.
When you like go to Fenris's mansion, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to float with Fenris for a bit," and you walk in, and she comes out, and as she comes out, she like winks and stuff, and I'm like, "This is not how this is going down." Like she's the Morgan of that game for me. Like. See, in Inquisition, no one's trying to steal my man.
That's true.
It's all fine. It's just the other two games. Men snatchers. That's what it is.
Before we finish talking about the Dragon Age romances, special shout out to Leliana, who, in her mind, romanced both of us.
Every single one of us, for no reason.
In our mind, she didn't.
And it happened to Nathan as well.
And it happened to Nathan. So
it
I reckon.
To everybody.
You do you, hon.
Maybe it was a bug.
You'll find a man one day.
Probably not, because she's like psycho now.
True.
And if you made her the divine, doesn't she have to be celibate?
No, she changes the law.
Oh, does she?
Fuck that shit.
Fucking. Right, now this is
the final thing. This is all we've got left to do.
So, we'll give you our ratings
Months of work.
Dragon Age, and then we'll read out the overall scores between all the games.
Yeah. I hated ranking the Dragon Age games.
It was hard.
I think they're all kind of perfect in their own way.
Yeah. But we used the number system, so...
Yeah, we did. So this is just science.
This is nerd science.
So our lowest scoring Dragon Age game was actually Inquisition. Which
sounds shocking when you say it out loud.
Is weird, because it's probably the one I've played the most.
Yeah.
I mean, we did that PlayStation Live video and it called me out for having played over 600 hours of Inquisition.
Yeah, I got
and
that
honestly,
too.
I don't understand how I did that. Because, like, a playthrough is only like, a playthrough is like 100 hours, I guess. And I've probably done
You've had like things like that.
Yeah. Okay, now I've said it out loud, I can see how I did that.
I think it got a... Like, looking at the scores, it didn't even get bad scores. Like, its lowest score is a 6.
Yeah.
So, like... It didn't get low scores, it just...
The story was kind of epic, but kind of...
lacking.
The story should have been longer.
There was too much... Overall, there was too much faffing. The companions were amazing.
Yeah.
They were the best part of the game.
Yeah.
The ending of the game, obviously, we can appreciate that it's building up to the next one. But just as a standalone game,
it felt underwhelming.
There was no consequences to any
the
of your
final
choices.
boss battle was a bit...
You could have sorted that out on the first mission.
Yeah.
He should have come out and fought you on the first mission, and we could have saved ourselves hundreds of hours of gameplay. It was not a big, epic boss fight.
Nah. Gameplay-wise, for me, I really enjoyed it. It's the perfect blend of Origins and 2. Just like Mass Effect 3 was.
Yeah. I can see that. I think the trouble came with...
Again, it was bugs.
The... Too much open world with not enough to fill it.
It felt, in places, especially in the hinterlands, like an MMO.
Yeah.
And I wasn't vibing with that.
Like we touched on this in the last few videos, the war table missions should have been actual missions. The actual side missions should have been war table missions. Because there was more lore on the war table than there was going out killing like 6 wolves.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an important... When you're trying to save the world...
Yeah. And I hope that's something that they change in 4.
That's the one thing I would say Mass Effect did more effectively, was it pushed
relevant
the urgency.
side missions, yeah.
Like, you never, like, obviously, you got shit to do, and you never did a mission that was, like, a waste of time.
Yeah. Like, especially...
They didn't push the story forward.
In 3, you're like, okay, the Reapers are here. I need to do this for the war effort.
Yeah.
Whereas in Inquisition, you're like... Oh, my village has run out of coats. He's going to kill 10 rams.
I need some elf fruit
for
my potion. Like, it's literally everywhere.
Village.
It's literally everywhere.
There's one right there.
Yeah, literally. That's where that game suffered for us personally.
Characters, great. Romance, great.
Definitely.
Protagonist.
No, this is where we differed.
I like the Inquisitor, but I see what you say when you say they're a bit flat.
For me, I think the Inquisitor's bland. I think, like, I don't like Warden and Hawk, you have clear backstories, you have family, like, you're kind of defined by that.
Yeah.
People know what you're about, like, people know what's happened to you, they know the tragedies. The Inquisitor loses her entire family in the first 5 seconds, and no one ever acknowledges it.
Yeah.
You don't even acknowledge it. Nobody asks you anything about what you did before you became the Inquisitor. And the dialogue...
It gets touched on in war table missions again.
The dialogue tree is so, like...
I like the way the dialogue tree is done. I just don't think they pull it off well enough.
The icons to respond give an indication that you're going to say something that you just clearly don't say.
Yeah.
They're not matched up well. It's hard to explain. If you haven't played the game, or maybe you had to do... Because obviously no one's game's the same. Maybe you had an amazing Inquisitor. For me, personally, I couldn't get that personality like I could with Hawk.
I think that's where some of the problem comes in. I think because Hawk was so
good.
I think because the Inquisitor followed them, we're kind of on a bit of a... They're not as good as Hawk.
Hawk, you could very clearly give yourself a personality, and it was
But then
amazing.
again, I think that's a problem with the Inquisition and not the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Because Hawk's in Inquisition, and Hawk feels really flat for me in Inquisition.
True. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like you're not a detailed character, even though you're the most important person there.
It leaves a lot of it open to the player's interpretation.
Yeah.
But then the downside of that is you're not shown in the world as much.
Yeah.
And you feel really one-dimensional.
And nobody really acknowledges anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we talked about that. Like, no one talks about your romance option. I don't know, this is like the Inquisitor's like the least important person there, when she should be the most important. Well, they should be the most important. That's the one thing I didn't like. Obviously, I don't like the boring ass side missions, but that's the one thing that I really did not like about Inquisition. Thank you for coming to my TED talk.
So our middle game was Dragon Age 2.
We love Dragon Age 2. I know that's an unpopular opinion, and when you tell people that, they're like, really?
We're 50% of its fan base, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's amazing.
The story was good.
Dark, tragic.
It seemed so light-hearted, and then when you look at it, you're like, "Oh, this is dark."
But then that is a product of you being able to have a Hawk that has that happy-go-lucky personality. So again, that's a good character model with good responses.
Hawk for me is definitely my favourite protagonist.
I agree.
The thing that lets Dragon Age 2 down massively is the setting. Just being stuck in Kirkwall and the lazy use of the same caves and houses is just a bit...
That's the thing. It's not even that you're in Kirkwall, because I could forgive that.
Yeah.
It's just, like you say, the same environment being used constantly, all the time.
There's like one cave, 2 houses, and that's it. And that's it.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that lets it down for me. And the romances aren't as good as the other two.
No, you know what? See, I like the good-bad side to the romance. I think that's an interesting aspect.
It's just that the actual people weren't as interesting to romance.
Yeah, Ferris was hot though. So, like he was a hot mess. I don't know. I like Dragon Age 2. There's something special about it.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's short. You can enjoy it. Like you can get it done quickly. Whereas the other two it's a big task to undertake. I think that gives it an edge because you can just play it and have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Even though it's awful and tragic.
Which leaves our top game as Origins. We rated it a 10 for story.
It was an epic story.
No comment. It was just brilliant.
Because, like, you think about game, like, because it's so dated, it's hard to see that. But, like, if you think about the story, it's such an epic story from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, leading up to it. It's kind of like how the end of Mass Effect 3 is kind of Dragon Age Origins. Yeah. It's like, the world's ending. You gotta save it. Go and get the people. Save the world. And it's straight off the bat.
And like for a franchise start like that,
it's amazing.
It's just... I can remember when I first played it, I chose to be a human noble the first time. Before I discovered that I wanted to be a mage.
See! I chose the mage first and I didn't like it and I became the human. That's so weird.
We did that with Overwatch though.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I feel like I played it and I was like, okay... Like, there's this family drama between the two families. This is going to be a bit Game of Thrones. It'll be interesting. And then it just got so much better. Like, I just can't put it into words.
It's epic. It's epic from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's like, take all these people you've just found and go fight this dragon that could end the world. Yeah. And you're like, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. And that's the first game. Like, that's magic.
I liked how there was a meme I saw ages ago and it was like Dragon Age Origins companions are people that you just randomly came across and decide to go out together on a night out. Dragon Age 2 is like your old friends from school who you go out on a night out with and it just gets absolutely messy. And Dragon Age Inquisition is your work colleagues who are just so done with life, the same as you. So you go out and drown your sorrows. And I'm like, yeah.
It's always going to be special because it was the first one. But it's just, story-wise... That is the best story.
Yeah. The only thing that lets it down for me is the gameplay.
Yeah.
But that's just because it's so old.
It's old, yeah. But, like, Dragon Age 1 can stand on its own as an individual game with an ending, with your characters kind of getting all tied up. Which 2 and 3, well, 2 and Inquisition can't do that.
Yeah.
At all. Nowhere even near close.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So, yeah.
But you didn't like the Warden protagonist that much, did you?
I didn't like the Warden as much, and I think it's just because he wasn't voiced.
See, I like the Warden, but...
And it annoyed me that the only thing my Warden ever said was, can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
See, all mine ever said was, That's all mine ever said, like I'd get hit, and that's all she'd say. She said something about treasure chests once, I think. Like, she said some things about chests, but other than that, that was it.
But I've been told on Reddit that the Warden actually does come out with some good one-liners, so I need to replay it and just pay attention.
Oh.
I need to actually read.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the Warden, but I think it comes down to, like, you're very, like Mass Effect 1.
Yeah.
You're Shepard. You're a war hero.
Yeah.
So you play to that because you're told that's what you are. In Dragon Age 1, you're the Warden. You've got to save the world. You've got to do what's right. So you play to that. So I think for me, I kind of made, like, I had a clear goal. Yeah. Whereas if you didn't really feel like that, you kind of probably felt like, oh, I don't know what's my Warden. I think it's how you like interpret it and how your origin story affects your kind of gameplay. That's the thing. Like, I think Inquisition needed origin stories. You needed a bit more about who you were.
Yeah, for sure.
Than the first like loading screen saying, "Oh, you're."
And that's something that the fandom have said since Origins. Like, bring back origin stories. Bring back, and I don't know why they haven't. No one hated them.
No.
But there are people out there that love them, so just bring them back. It's not hard.
You just Dragon.
What I find most interesting about how we rated these, though, is Inquisition is easily the one that I would replay.
Yeah.
Origins is the one that I would
never replay.
Definitely least replay.
And yet, look at the scores. Okay, so now we're going to tell you the overall scores that each game got. So all the Dragon Ages, all the Mass Effects. Take it away, Jake.
Okay, so Mass Effect 2 got 5.2 out of 10. Mass Effect Andromeda very narrowly beat it with 5.8 out of 10.
That's a generous 5.8.
Yeah. Mass Effect then got 6.7 out of 10. Dragon Age Inquisition got 7.2 out of 10. Dragon Age 2 got 7.8 out of 10.
A lot of people watching this are like, how did you even do that?
Mass Effect 3 got 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner was Dragon Age Origins with 8.7 out of 10. Overall, Mass Effect got 6.4 out of 10, Dragon Age got 7.9, so we clearly prefer Dragon Age.
But we knew that.
What I like is the complete, like, it's Mass Effect 2, Andromeda, Mass Effect, and then a solid block of Dragon Age, and with a bit of Mass Effect 3 in before Dragon Age wins again.
I think Mass Effect...
And there was like a big difference between the three Mass Effects and Inquisition.
Yeah, I think Mass Effect, because it's finished, you have that look. You can look at it as an overall.
Yeah.
And Shepard's journey is epic, and like some of the characters in that game are amazing. But Dragon Age, it's giving you a different character players every time. It's giving you a different set of companions. It's up the romances. It's got more to offer, but it's an ongoing series.
I think for me as well, like, just in general, I tend to prefer fantasy games over sci-fi games.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Dragon Age it already had...
Do you want to?
I picked up Dragon Age knowing it would probably be something that I liked, whereas I picked up Mass Effect thinking, this is probably the nearest thing to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic that I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Like, so we could have gone into Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, but we'd have been here all day.
We don't have time for that. Not yet. Maybe
Soon.
maybe someday soon, but not right yet. This will not be the last of Bioware Bae. We're in too deep to stop. But yeah, thank you for joining us and our mad ramblings about Bioware. Subject very close to our heart. We got some very strong opinions. Like we said, it will not be the last of the Bioware content on this channel because we love it too much.
You do.
So again, thank you for watching, and we will see you very soon. Bye.
Bye from us.
If you like that video and want to see more like it, then click this playlist button here. If you happen to want to subscribe to us and check out all our content, then click this amazing sexy button right here. Look how enticing it is. You know you want to click it. And if you're already subscribed to us, well then you are already an awesome human being.